Mind focus. I've reached that weird point in the year, and it happens every year around this time just because there's so many important moments regarding my transition that happen all at once, mainly because I started T and got top surgery within 7 weeks of each other. But I am overloaded with the amount of content to post, and I don't want to put it all out at once, but then that backs up my normal upload schedule that doesn't really exist but sort of does. And it's a really weird situation for me to be in because I just have so much that I can post, yet I don't want to put it all out because I know in a week I'm not going to have anything to post. But aside from that, one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and it's a sort of a topic that I've been thinking about for a really long time, and have been wanting to talk about for a while, but just has been getting pushed back further and further, is labels and identifying yourself. Because now I am 3 years on testosterone, and I wouldn't say it's an identity crisis or an identity change, but what I identify as has changed. So, in case if you're curious what that entails, I no longer, when referring to myself and when thinking of myself, I don't identify as FTM or female to male anymore. And it's not that I have a problem with that label, I just don't feel that it is an accurate and proper label if I am going to label myself as something for myself. And for the longest time, this made someone nervous last time, but the needle's fine. My justification was that it identifies who I once was and is an identifying marker of my transition. And now, I don't hate my past. I'm completely fine with it. It doesn't bother me. But I identify more accurately as either transmasculine or trans male or trans guy. I'm a trans man, rather than female to male. So, that being said, why do I continue to tag all of my Instagram photos, all of my YouTube videos, everything that I put out in this world? Why do I tag it FTM if that label does not correspond with my identity anymore? And the reason why, and I talked about this in the last, in my last shot talk, is 1, 2 and a half. There we go. Is because of the reason why I am public and I share my transition and why I do that. From my own experience, some people will definitely initially come out and be like, I'm not FTM, I'm a trans man, I'm a trans guy, I'm transmasculine. But I think for a lot of people, just because it is a coined term and it is easier to identify within that immediate binary, or it's the thing that you find first and the thing that you lock on, like, that's what it is, I'm trans, but this is what it is. We identify as that. Because I know that was the case for me. So, I not only put out content for parents and friends and people who are transitioning or at the end of their transition, but I also do it for the people who are beginning their transitioning or questioning. And I find that a lot of the times the terms we search, where'd it go? Magic trick. Is FTM if you're a transmasculine person. So that is why I still tag everything as FTM, even though I don't identify as that. It's so that those people who may not identify as that later, but it's because it's the general term for a transmasculine person. And all this is my opinion. Please, if I'm wrong, talk about it in the comments or whatever. But it's not what we flock to, but it's what we use to find information with. Because transgender is such like a big, it's such a, not a vague word, but it's an umbrella term. It incorporates so many things under that. And it's changing with the identity of transmasculine and blah, blah, blah. But I just find that I can reach more people if I tag it as FTM and have the potential to reach more people if I tag it as that than if I don't tag it as that. Come on. So that's kind of what I want to talk with, but also just like in terms of your identity changing, your identity can change at any time, and your identity and your labels are what you feel comfortable when thinking about yourself as. So don't ever feel pressured to be something just because it makes it easier for someone else. You are your own person, and if you're uncomfortable with it, then don't ever feel like it's an obligation to stay with that or do something based on everyone else around you, because at the end of the day, it's all about you, okay? All about you.